Hello, once again, we are here for another session, and I'm really so happy that I can see the comments here. I'm so happy about that. Messages. So, today's theme, yesterday we had a theme about marriage, how important is marriage. I gave from my personal example. Today's theme also is somewhat related, after marriage comes children, right? So, today's topic is about children. I know it might be a sore point for many people, but it's part of life, right? It's part of life. So, how necessary do you feel it is to have children? How necessary? So I will give you also something from my example. All right. Again, I'll give you from my personal example. I share my life experiences, right? And most of the things I ask, I'm sharing my personal example also. Okay. So I have some things to talk about from that point of view as well. So I will talk about myself. Somebody is number two. I don't know. Somebody has clicked on the like button for two. Some anonymous person clicked number two but did not comment. It's good anyhow. Thank you. Thank you so much, whoever you are. Thank you. I took a walk out to the mall and I made a video, but it's a very long video and I think I have run out of data.
This
So,
is your this thing, na? Towel?
yeah, it's dry.
Yeah, right.
I'm having lassi. My
We
third
already have
incident
one
would
there,
come.
so keep this then. When
Yeah,
you
thanks.
use that one.
Okay, so who else? Who else? No one else. Wow, already almost 15 minutes past. Time is really flying.
Not having dinner?
We'll have it a live stream. Yes. Actually, I just remember today is Monday. I have an off, but everybody else is working. So I think I should not have started a live stream today. But it's a weekday and it's a working day for all of you. Okay, I'm going to end soon because nobody else is here. I will end soon.
Which one is this? Oh, Tomorrow enough is there.
Hi, Lucky Lucille and Nellen Baby and Lucille and Stephen. Hi, Stephen. How are you? Harang. Yeah, let the lads play. I'll just be back. Just a few minutes. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, you had a busy day, Pita. And tomorrow you have a busier day, especially because of the traveling. Because of the traveling, it's going to be even busier. So today, I think I'm going to have Wi-Fi problems. Today it's a little warm out here, not as cold as normally. It's a bit warm out here. Thank you, Maya. Yeah, official travel. Have you started your live stream? Have you started your live stream, Pita? And are you going to leave it on and sleep, or you will end it before you sleep? Sorry. Hi, Stephen. So, Stephen, 4 days off from today, yeah? Not yet. But what do you plan on doing? Stay awake till it ends, or are you going to let it carry on while you're sleeping? I thought you were having silent life. No, nobody was here for a long time. Nobody at all. So I just went to attend to something. Then in between, I popped in. I had to wash up some dinner stuff. Wash up some dinner stuff. So I just went to. I keep peeped in between. I peeped in between, and then I saw you all already here. So I quickly finished it up. I said, just give me a few minutes. I went, finished it up quickly, and came. Yeah. I'll tell you something about today's theme, what I want. Yesterday we spoke about marriage. Today I kept it as children. And I know it might be a sore point for some people, but facts of life, right? What to do, we have to accept, right? So, what I'll start off with my example. Okay. For me, I love children. I really love children. And I guess joining the teacher's profession was one of the best things I did because I was interacting with so many kids, so many kids, and shaping their lives, shaping their future, advising them, all disputes between parents, children, all that. So I enjoyed my journey, my teaching journey, and as an administrator and a vice principal and assistant headmaster, it was even better, more interaction with parents. And like a school is like 3,000, 4,000 kids, right? So yeah, I'm interacting with at least a lot of parents, in hundreds and hundreds of parents, so it was very nice, and then interacting with so many teachers also were good, and so many teachers had their kids in the school. So yes, I enjoyed my journey about that. I enjoyed kids. Coming down to my personal life, I remember when we got married, like I told my wife always, I said one kid is enough. One kid is more than enough. It's you can give everything. Like my example was, we are not very rich people, right? We are just mediocre middle class family. So I said, like, if we can, let's say we can afford 100 rupees for a gift for Christmas or whatever it is, we can afford 100 bucks. So if we can afford 100 bucks, but if we have two kids, that means we cannot give 100. So we have to divide it and make it 50-50, like, so why? Just have one kid and give that kid the best, and whatever we can afford, give it to the kid. So well, we had our first kid and all, everything was hunky dory, like, and then suddenly one day my wife just said, "No, I want a second kid." And I said, "Why?" We said, "We'll have one kid." "No, I want." Then she gave me one line. She said, "The only kid is a lonely kid. The only kid is a lonely kid." I'll never forget that. I said, "Oh, okay, okay." Now, talking about that, people say, kids, when we grow old, kids will be there to help us, kids will be there to support us. We have taken care of the kids all their lives. So, it's like payback time, and the kids will, take care of us and all. That would have been in those years, not today. Not today. Today's world is completely different. That's why in marriage also I said today's world is different. So today's world, we have to accept things as they are today, right? Not live 30 years ago, 40 years ago, how things were. What is the thing today? Are the children really so supportive of the parents? Once the kid is gone of age, finished, they've gone of age, okay? Some of them, yes, they will respect the parents, they will take care of the parents, they will do that. But majority of them, no, they will not bother. They will not bother. Okay. Out in the West, it's completely different also, because as soon as the kid comes of age, the parents themselves want them out of the house, right? Go live on your own. Finish. You manage on your own. That's how it is in the West America and all. I've seen, I've been witness to many people out there like that. So, like, it's like they just wait for the kid to come of age and out. Okay. Even the babies and all, it's a separate room for the babies and all, like, so you can cry, you can yell, you can whatever it is, I guess, you just manage. But we, traditional family life, we care, we this, we that, and all. So today's life is completely different. Today's is completely different. So we cannot say that we are having kids so that they will take care of us, they will look after us and all. No, that's not the case. And like I've always been a very unconventional harang. Okay, thank you. I've been always been a very unconventional person. I always think out of the box. And I don't follow norms. I don't follow, uh, I don't follow tradition and things like that. I don't believe in many of those things. Like I discussed yesterday about religion and prayers and all. I don't believe, all those prayers are just repetitive prayers and all. I don't believe in that. It has no meaning. So I've always been unconventional. So this also was unconventional. Like even my kids, I used to tell my wife, let them call me Winston. And she said, "I've gone mad. You're their father." I said, "Yes, if they call me Winston, does that make me not their father? Or does it diminish my fatherhood with them or my relation with them?" No, I said, because I always said, don't look at children as children. You have to treat them as friends. You have to be friends with them, as they grow up. So yeah, so that is why my outlook in life has been completely different from a young person, from my day. So there's no guarantee that kids will take care of you, and don't look to it, don't depend on that. You have to make your own nest. You have to, take care of yourself, your future. You have to do that. You cannot say kids are tomorrow and say that they are obligated. We have taken care of them, now they take care of us. No, that those years are gone. There are kids who do take care, like my sister is still taking care of my mom. She's still taking care of my mom. Whatever said and done, she's doing it, so so yeah, so it is that way, but you cannot really depend. You cannot really say no. It's their right and duty to look after their parents. Though that age is gone. Now let's see what Stephen has said. From a young age, I always said I wasn't going to have any children. Yes, now that is another aspect, right? There are many that, for whatever reason, they just do not want to have kids. You know the thing about not you. I'm just speaking generally, okay, Stephen. Like they don't want to have kids because oh, those nappy days are not the nappy days are not happy days. In those years there were no disposables and those kind of things. So we used to have cloth nappies, and we used to take and wash it out and dry it and use it again and make the whitener and God knows what all we used to do. So there were no such thing as all what they're having today, So yeah, so it's a different life. So people don't want to go through that, women do not want to go through childbirth, right? Women do not want to go through childbirth, so they also are not just to have. And if you see, the poorer people have been having a dozen children, right? And the rich people who can afford it, they hardly have kids, or they have no kids, or they have only one kid. The rich people have less kids. It's that way, or no kids, though they can afford it. So yes, there are many people who do not. They just don't. It's not that they don't like kids or whatever it is. They just are happy not to have any kids. So yeah, that's also the other aspect. But for me, I love kids and I wanted to have kids, and I said I will just have one kid I wanted. Anyhow, we had two kids, and then I put a full stop. And later on in life, my one day I remember in the Gulf when we were there, my wife said, she said, no, no, how about the third one? So I told her, I said, third one, yeah, sure, sure, why not? Let's have a third one, no problem. You want to have a third one, you can have a third one, no problem. She was shocked and surprised, and she said, are you sure? I said, yes, I'm very sure. You want to have a third one? Yes, sure, you can go ahead and have a third one. There is just one problem. She said, really? What's the problem? I said, you have to find a father for the kid. Yes, I told her, I said, you have to find a father for the kid. She said, I knew there was a catch behind it because you were agreeing for me to have a third kid. So, it's like that. So, yeah, so we just stuck with two, and that's how the matter ended over there. But still, we tried to give, we gave them a foreign education, both of them. We told them, our parents never gave us education. Of course, my parents, they sent me to the teachers training. They spent a lot of money at that time. 10,000 bucks was a lot of money in those days, right? So they spent a lot of money for my teachers training. But after that, graduation and all was all on my own. I had to do that. But we said we took loans, and we said we will give them good education. And we sent my daughter to New Zealand. We sent my son to US. We gave them their basic degree, and we told them that much we can afford. That you can see we have taken loans. But when you finish your degree, after that you work, and whatever you earn, you do your further studies or whatever you want to do. And they did that. They did that. But my daughter was even better. When she started working, she used to give us some money. And we said, "What are you giving this money?" And she said, "No, I understand. I know you have spent a lot of money for my, education in New Zealand. You gave me a good education and never made anything less for me. I have pocket money to spend, ample. So never made anything less. So I cannot pay back." She's saying it's not paying back because I can never repay you. I can never repay. And that's true. You can never repay parents for what they do for you, no matter how much. You may be rich, you may be sponging, you may be buying your parents a mansion, you may be, driving them in cars and all that. But you can never repay anybody. You can never repay them for whatever help they give you, whatever help they do for you, any friend or relative. You can do for them anything under the world, but it's not a repayment. You cannot repay them. You cannot repay them. Now, like even like we use the term, no, in YouTube we are using the term, no, I'm just repaying other people for coming to I'm repaying them. But like it's not a repayment, because if in time of need, in time of need, when they came and supported you, that is something that you can never repay them. You can go to their channel now, you can support them as they supported you and all, but even then, that repayment thing, is never possible. You can repay a loan. You take a loan from somebody and you repay them the loan. Finished. Then there's no obligation, right? There's no obligation, kind of. There's no obligation, right? But if someone helps you when you were in dire need of something, really in dire need of something, and someone helps you at that time, and then you may return the money, but that in that time of need when the person helped you, you cannot repay that, for the person. So that is my outlook on life of the repayment part of it. So yeah, coming back to the topic, so we had two kids, and that is it. Now, when I was in Muscat, Sultanate of Oman, when I was there having a job, so many of these workers used to be laborers and all that. And then suddenly you find like there are few people who I used to just know, like, casually just say hello to them. And if I bought something and I had something extra, I would give it to them and all. So um, suddenly the fellow is distributing sweets. In India, it is a custom when a child is born, you distribute some sweets and all that. So he was distributing, oh, very nice, very good, and all that. So what did you have? Did boy, girl? Ah, I had a girl, I had a boy, whatever it is. Oh, very good, very nice. So proud father you are. Yes, proud father. When was the last time you went home? Oh, I went home about 2 years, 3 years ago. He went home 2 or 3 years ago. That's the last time he went home. But now a child is born and he's very happy he's the father of the child. I tell you, the labor is so simple, like, not even thinking, like, I used to laugh. I used to laugh and all that. So, yeah, so that's it. So, many of the elderly people, I've seen on the YouTube, the YouTubers, no, they are YouTubers also, or they are talking to somebody who's not a YouTuber, just in an interview and all. And I've seen in the Philippines, many of the older people, okay, the older people, they've had a bad marriage, and sometimes the kids are not for him anymore. The wife is also not. The wife has left and married again, and whatever it is and all that. So many of them, when they have come to Philippines, they are willing to marry. They are willing to marry or live together with some Filipino who has kids, and they say it is like us having a ready-made family. They like to have kids, right? But maybe at that age now they cannot have their own kids, but they still love kids. So they say it's very nice. We can always have a ready-made family. By marrying or living with a Filipino who already has kids, we have a ready-made family, so yeah, that's a very nice thought, it's a very, very nice thought. I really appreciate somebody who says something like that. It's very good. Like, many people are under the impression like, oh, this is somebody else's kid, why do I take care of that kid, right? But kids are kids. Is it the kid's fault, right? Is it the kid's fault? That's the thing we have to think of, right? It's not the kid's fault. So it's a nice thought when I hear something like that on YouTube or in an interview. I hear that. It's a wonderful thought because I love kids. I love kids. Of course, they say when the kids are young, they tread on your heart, and when they grow big, they tread on your corns. Like my son doesn't talk to me. My son has not spoken to me for many, many years. We lived in the same house. Okay, we lived in the same house in Canada, same house he lived with us, though he was of quite of age, he lived with us. But he never ever spoke to me. He stopped talking. I have no idea why. And the communication used to go through my wife. He would say something to the wife tell me, I will say to the wife will tell him again, and it was like that. So that's one of the reasons also when my wife passed away, I just left. But my daughter and myself, we communicate well and we get along well, and she's the apple of my eye. She's the apple of my eye. So whatever possible, I've always done for her. And they never made anything less for me. When I went now, I stayed for 3 months. They never made anything less for me. So yeah, my daughter, I will always treasure my daughter. I care about my son also. I miss him. I miss him. I don't have any animosity against him. He's my flesh and blood. Not have any animosity against him. It's his prerogative, how he wants to deal with me for whatever reason he wants to deal with me. Even my wife says she doesn't know. He wouldn't tell. So it's okay. Maybe he told, but she doesn't want to tell me, or what. She didn't want to tell me. I don't know. But anyhow, you know, it's okay. Like when he was the custodian of my wife's will, no? So when my wife passed away, so I told him I'm going to leave the house and go. So I will take some things with me which I have bought. He said if he messaged me, he messaged me. We were just messaging each other for some time, and then he told me stop messaging me also. So he said, if you can produce a receipt, then you can take the stuff. Now you tell me. I bought things from Muscat. I bought love glasses. I brought all different types of glasses. I brought tea sets. And the teacups and the saucers were beautiful color, beautiful design. And things like that. So I had bought quite a lot. And believe me, though that was I left in 1981, we had so many of them still left. Proper intact. So I wanted to take all that and give it to my daughter. Where am I going? I'm traveling. So where am I? I decided to leave Canada. So I said, I'll give it to my daughter. He said, you produce a receipt, then only you can take it. Because he was the custodian of my wife's will. So whatever in the house belongs to him, kind of. Only whatever clothes I'm wearing or my baggage and all. Now with my wife also, I had a signet ring, and the signet ring was really very heavy. The signet ring was it was really heavy, and actually, what happened? My wedding ring turned very tight. My wedding ring turned very tight, and I hardly wore my wedding ring. So the wedding ring turned very tight. So because of that, we couldn't. We tried to loosen. We tried to do all that. They tried to hammer it and loosen it, but it was not working. The fellow said it'll break. So we just kept it aside, and I bought a signet ring. We and I bought a signet ring, got it blessed and all that. And then I had a nice thick chain also. So after some time, I stopped wearing the gold. I don't want to wear gold, I just stopped it. And I put it into my wife's locker. So when she passed away, I told my son that signet ring and the chain belongs to me. So, please give it back to me. You think I don't remember? You think, send me pictures of you wearing it. Oh my God, where am I going to send pictures? 5 years, 10 years ago, where am I going to have pictures? I looked high and low. I couldn't find them. Last, I found one picture in Dubai where I was in a park and you can see the chain a little bit. So I sent him that picture back again. The chain is not clearly visible to know whether it is the chain that you are talking about or not. In the end, I said, okay, you want to even take that, and you're taking everything else as it is. You want to take that also, take it. But you, in your heart of hearts, you have seen my ring, you have seen my chain. So, finally, he did give it to me with writing that you have received this, blah, 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 in writing. So, like that, children, how they turn out to be. But still, I don't hold anything against him. I don't hold anything against him. It's okay. That's his life. So I have my daughter still. My daughter is important in my life. That's enough. Like my daughter, one day she sat down and she had just the day before I left Canada, she had a chat with me and she said, Dad, come, I want to talk to you about something. I want to show you something. So I think I mentioned it sometime before. She showed me these mobile homes, you know, and she said, Dad, the new ones are very costly, but a second-hand one in 25,000 Canadian dollars, you can get a second-hand one. And they are very good, they come with one bedroom, two bedrooms, and everything, your toilet, everything is inside. So she said, Dad, I know you're not ready to come back, but so I'm saying it is your second option. You have a second option, all right? That we have a lot of land, we have a lot of property. So we can get this for you. We know you don't have the money, so we can get this for you, and you can camp out. And they said just in front of this. So you are having a private life, but yet you are very close to the family, right? So so that is the second option. But anytime you want to make it your first option, just tell us. Give us some time in advance to make it your first option, because we will buy a second hand one, but we need to see it's in a very good condition and all. And my son-in-law is basically he's into mechanics for trucks and cars and all that, So he knows a lot about all that. He can like pull it apart and put it together. So he will buy, they will buy a good one, like a second-hand one. He will know, the condition of it and all. So she always said, she said that if ever you, whenever you want to make it your first option, just give us some time. You know. So I said, okay. So I have an option there. So daughters are very good, daughters are good, so I value them. My grandchildren also miss me. Grandpa, why are you going? Don't go, Grandpa. Stay with us only, 3 months, that's the first time I stayed with them so long. Otherwise, I used to go for 10 days. I used to go for 10 days just because of my completing my 10 years in Canada. No, I used to make trips only for 10 days. But this time I was there for 3 months. Why, Grandpa? Why do you want to go, Grandpa? Stay with us, Grandpa. Yeah, so, yeah, so that is it. Like, I love children. I love children. That's why I want to tell if I can teach children, here I'm happy. Here I'm happy because I'm there with the kids and these autistic kids and, special needs kids. And some of them need so much attention also, I'm learning a lot how to handle them, like, and how to teach them. How to teach them. It's so different from teaching normal kids. And sometimes when I talk to my brother, he says, Winston, you're not normal kids, Winston. You have to, don't worry about it, you know if they may get it now and after 5 minutes you ask them again and they will not get it. It's like that. He said it's a slow process. It's a process. Don't worry, you take 1 month for them to understand something, you take a year to understand. It all depends on how much they can. But we train them, we keep on, we keep on, we keep on. A lot of repetition, a lot of repetition. So I said, okay, got it now, got it. Like the other day, my brother has a lot of things. So we had those little cards and how to order something from a big size to a small size. So they don't really know the difference. So how to make it from a big size to a small size. And finally, just showing him, okay, which is bigger? Okay, this is bigger. Take. Sometimes he's pointing to the smaller one and saying it's bigger. It's bigger. How is it bigger? Take the small one, put it on top of the big one. Can you see? you know but sometimes they can see, sometimes they cannot fathom it out. They cannot fathom it out. Then you take it and you put it underneath and say, can you see the other one? No, because it is smaller, right? That's why you cannot see it, because the big one is on top, so they are now separated. See. So finally he got it in order, and me like a fool thinking, now he got it from big to small, let me give it to him to do from small to big. My brother laughed afterwards. He's saying, Winston, just because he got it big to small, it doesn't mean he will do it in reverse. It's difficult for them to comprehend these things. So I'm understanding little by little, more and more, because I this is something I want to do, something I want to do. Wherever I'm settling down, I want to help kids. I want to help these special needs autistic kids. I want to help them. And whatever training my brothers imparting in the last 8 years, there have been lots of improvements. Lots of improvements. So there is something good in his method of teaching. So yeah, I'm settling down to how to do that. So that's why I decided I need to spend more time here, because tomorrow if we open a branch or we open something, like that, and I would be in charge of it. I need to handle it, right? I need to handle all these. Sometimes, the trauma, they start yelling, they start screaming, they bang their feet on their legs on the ground, and all sorts of things. So they get into those moods. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of training. I'm understanding, so much more. So it's going to help me in the future, right? It will help me in the future. It will help me in the future. So yeah, so that much for today. I think I will end my live stream also. I have to still prepare for. I have to still prepare for my casting. It's so nice. I can pin messages and especially the prayers. Oh, Stephen, I forgot to ask you. Yesterday I was thinking about it afterwards. Like, how's Martha doing, Stephen? The older, Stephen says, the older I get, I sometimes regret not having children, but it is too late now. You know, talking about this, I like people are in the Gulf for so many years, they go home for a holiday, then they have kids and they the wife is pregnant when they come back again and all. Not like those workers not gone home for 3, 4 years and yet they're having kids, and happy to be the proud father. So uh, I used to tell them, I said, I don't know how you can, and this was before I had my kids. Okay, I was 1 year married when I went to the Gulf first time, right? So I told them, you do not know each step of the child as the child is growing big. That's a joy to watch, and that is something you can never get again. And even if you have 2 kids or 3 kids or 4 kids, each kid is so unique, so different. They don't behave in the same way. Each kid is so different, and watching them growing up is it's such a joyful thing, such a delightful thing to watch them, their antics and their behavior and their faces and all sorts of things. So you miss all that, you know and for me it was like family comes first, family comes first. And that is why, first of all, I couldn't take my wife. I gave up. I broke my 2 year contract and I came back after a year. Because for me, family life is more important. Money and all those things are not important. That's why today also, whatever little I have, I'm content and I'm happy with it. I don't look for riches. I don't look for money. That's why my YouTube channel also, I'm giving that also. Whatever I get, I'm giving it to some Filipino child to have a college, towards their college education. I'm going to give it. I'm not keeping it for myself, right? So this is me. This is how I am. So I've always been like this. So for me, family is more important. Money is not. You can have one shirt. That's at least you have one shirt. There are people who have no clothes, right? So I'm just happy about that. But yes, Stephen, you're right. All that little things, all those difficult, all those little, antics of theirs, the whole growing up process, with the kids. It's such a wonderful thing. You'll never have see it again, once they have grown big. And those years we didn't have so many cameras and videos and and those kind of things. We didn't really have it. So we couldn't, like today people have a lot of memories, like to show their kids. We had pictures. We had a lot of pictures. We had a camera that could take pictures. No videos at those days. No real improvement. She is starting a physical therapy again, but only one session so far. Okay, is the shoulder still playing up, or is it better? Her shoulder, is it playing up or better? Or you can speak about that in the message. You can send me in the message on Messenger. You reply on Messenger. You reply on Messenger. Maybe I asked the question, but you reply on Messenger. No problem. Yeah, just reply on Messenger, Stephen. No need of replying here. Just reply on Messenger to me. Yeah, but this is a very important thing you said. The older I get, sometimes I regret not having children. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay how the children turn out. It's like marriage. Marriage is a gamble, right? You do not know whether it will turn out to be good or not good. Like recently, I came across somebody, somebody who said that, oh, I one of the people out. I married an American and all that, but 6 months ago I got divorced. So I never asked why or what or something. I said, uh, um, then she said, oh, I think I got a bad partner. A bad partner in marriage. So I said, no, there's no such thing as a good and a bad. There's no such thing as good and bad. In marriage, it's a gamble, it's a risk. You know, you may think the person is so good, but sometimes after a couple of years, the person changes. For whatever reason, the person changes. They're no longer the same person they used to be before. Maybe loving, caring. They change, right? So, like yesterday we discussed, and I said, sometimes marriages have ended in a couple of months, like 6 months, 1 year, marriages have ended, right? So there's no guarantee for that. So same thing with kids, there's no guarantee how the kids will turn out. You may give them the best of education. You may, bring them up very disciplined, very nice, but ultimately peer group pressure and peer group is plays a large factor. I've seen in schools, I've seen so many children, and it always used to be like if you see a child misbehaving, this is how the parents bring them up, correct? Immediately, blame the parents, right? I know I've been also doing that a lot of times. Our parent must be like that. That's why the kid behaves. But in my teaching career, I have seen. Sometimes I think like that. How are I don't think that way, but I think how are the parents? If the child is like this, how are the parents? And I met some parents. Oh my God, arrogant is not the word. And then I say yes, correct. That's why the children have turned out like that, for sure. But sometimes the parents are, my God, they are jewels, they are jewels. And then you wonder, where has this kid turned out to be like this from? So it is peer group, peer pressure. In my class, now in those years I'm talking, this was 1971, 72, okay? In my class, uh, leave the girls out. We were a co-ed school, so leave the girls out, okay? In our class, there were girls and boys, so leave the girls out. Only count the boys. So out of the boys, there was only Vikram, Vikram, Baki, and myself, three of us. There were only three of us that never smoked. Three of us that never smoked. One guy later on in life, he started smoking. I don't know about the other guy now because he doesn't keep in touch. But we were only three guys in our class, and we were grade 10 and 11, right? Only three guys who never smoked. All the other guys used to be smoking. So, it's a peer pressure, a lot of peer pressure. You go to college also, start smoking, drinking, it's all peer pressure. You cannot be the odd one out. I didn't care. I I remember when I went for my teacher's training. When I went for my teacher's training, They used to say, "Hey, pass the," even to pass the cigarette to somebody. If I could avoid it, I would avoid it. If I could avoid it, I would avoid it. But sometimes I had to do it because when you pass the cigarette, your fingers will smell of that tobacco. Tobacco smell. So yeah, yes, I know you mentioned that, Stephen, before. You don't have to mention it here, Stephen. You know, yes, I know you did mention that before. Yeah, that's the main thing. At that time, anyhow, you did not want. You did not want to have. So it was a mutual understanding. It was good. But anyhow, you got adopted kids, right? I mean, Martha's kids. So you have that. So you have kids in your life anyhow, and it's your wife's kids. So it's good. You still have kids. It's like the people who come to Philippines and they don't mind marrying or living with a Filipino who already has kids. Because they got a ready-made family. So that's good. That's nice. That's really nice. And it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot to you know look after and bring up other kids as your own kid, as though they were your own kids, right? It's a very, very big thing. It's a very big thing to do. Frankly, from my point of view, I'm not wealthy. I'm not wealthy at the moment. Like, I'm not wealthy. So for me, I always think if I'm with somebody who has kids, you know, especially if the kids are young, right? Kids are young and they are growing. There's always need for something. There's always need for something, right? And if you're not in a capacity to provide it, then it will create some kind of rift. It will create some kind of dislike, correct? So that's what I'm apprehensive about. I'm apprehensive about that. But if the kids are older, they are bigger, then it's a different matter. You know, it's a different matter. But of course, they have other kind of needs. They have other kind of needs, But whatever is within my power, what I can do, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do that. So that's my only thing. It's not that I don't love kids, but you know, like once I discussed, I don't mind. I discuss openly also. Yes, but her younger has was already married when we met, so I never helped raise them. Okay, right. So that's you missed out on that also then. Yeah. So as I was saying, uh, there was a time when I discussed with a person who had three kids, and I told the person I do not know. This is my capacity. This is what I can afford, and the three kids they are young, so they will need a lot of things as they are growing up. So I said, this is my budget. I do not have more than this. If I get more, if I can do something, I can work, I can start a small business or something like that. Anything I can invest in, I don't mind, because there'll be income from that, right? So I don't mind, but whatever I can afford, I'll do. And we discussed, and she told me, like, this is what the government schools are free, we only need for projects and blah blah blah. And she said, no, we can manage comfortably. I said, are you sure? She said, yes, we can manage comfortably. Anyhow, she finally she got married to one of her kids father. She got married to that person. So it's okay. So but we discussed. I like to discuss in advance. This is what I'm capable of. If you feel it is good enough, you can accept it. If you cannot, then you cannot. Finished. It's like that. Almost 7 now. I am starting soon. Okay, Peter, you start and I will end my live stream. Then Stephen also can, if Stephen is not going to sleep, he can join you for a little while at least. Okay. And I will start mine also. I will start mine also. So thank you so much, all of you. Thank you, Via, and thank you for sharing your thoughts, Stephen, also on a little bit of the subject. So yeah. So now I'll not do any live stream till Saturday or maybe Friday evening. I don't know. Maybe Friday evening I will do a live stream. Friday and Saturday. Today I was off, so I did a live stream. So, but Saturday and Sunday, surely. Saturday and Sunday, you can look forward to my live stream. On the weekend, I will do a live stream, but other days, no. Maybe Friday I will do, I'm not sure. But Saturday and Sunday, I will do a live stream. And I'm just going to pick on random topics, I'm just going to pick on social topics. Like, I'm really going to pick on social topics, So, if you have any suggestions, any of you have suggestions or something, do send me, just do send in our group or something. Send, what you would like to discuss. Anything about social, any social topics. Social topics. One topic I would love to speak about is Donald Trump. You know, the other day morning, I saw a news that somebody else tried to at a rally where he was supposed to give a speech at a rally. Somebody was caught with guns and fake identities and all that, and they believed he was there to assassinate Donald Trump. And but then he was released on bail because there was no real hard reason for them to doubt that he would do it, so they had to release him on bail, but they are monitoring his whereabouts. So that's another thing I would love to discuss, because for me, I feel Donald Trump is arranging all these things. That's what I feel, to gain sympathy, because he knows that female is a very strong candidate. So I think he knows, but I don't like politics, but you know I don't know. I don't have a great thing for regard for Donald Trump. So anyhow, that's it. So like this, I don't mind some social issues. Any social issues the way we can discuss about. If you have any suggestions, do give it to me. I have to take Martha for appointment for her today. Shoulder today. You have to take her for a shoulder. Yeah. Don't worry. Do carry on. Don't worry about anything. Yeah. Take care. So thank you everybody. Love and God bless you, your families. I just really pray, for all those who are sick and in need, that they get better. They get better in some way or the other. I just pray they get better in some way or the other. I don't know. I storm heavens. Really, I storm heavens. But I don't know. I don't know. Really, I don't know. So okay, let me pin up my message to remember all these people in the prayers. Okay, please remember them. It's so nice. I can pin up these messages. Now I miss doing it all this time. So do pray for them because the list is still the same. It hasn't. And Stephen, you can write to me about Sherry and your dad, okay, on Messenger. Send me on Messenger, okay, about Sherry and your dad. So I'm going to end now. Let me let me bring up my Word document. I saved that in instead of typing, then I forget some names. Even when I'm praying, I'm trying to think. Okay, now what? Oh, there's one person's name I'm going to remove. Okay, it was this Thai. It was this Thai lady. The people who were going to make a visa for me, right? The family who was going to make a visa for me. So on the 21st of September, she was supposed to get her biopsy results. So she said she was going on 24th to the hospital, and then she sent me a message that she doesn't have cancer. It was suspected breast cancer, so they took a part of it, for a biopsy. So she said no, on 24th of September. She told me that no, it's not cancer. So I said, oh, very good, that's good. So anyhow, I leave her in the prayers, that it doesn't come back. Okay, it doesn't come back. So I leave her in the prayers. For now, she's okay, but still not okay. And I know this cancer always it can come back again. So So I'll leave a name there. It's the last name, Basana. So I'll just leave the name there. And all the others still are in need of prayers. Okay, they still need of prayers. I don't know how that little girl is doing. I've not got any message from the mom. So, love and God bless. Thank you so much. Au revoir, hasta luego. Till we meet again. And hope Martha's therapy goes well today. And I hope she sees some improvement. God, please do let that happen. So, take care. Okay. Bye, everybody. Bye.